low-key strong. Like, yeah. We're gonna give some tips too on like how to get out of bronze, how to get out of silver, stuff like that. So that's gonna be how this game's gonna be focused. Since the last two were plat and diamond, they're a little different games than what this one's gonna be. So we're gonna help. We're gonna help in this one now. So you have Smite Telly top lane. I like the Smite in this case because you're facing a lot of 1v1 duelists. You're facing Fizz, incredible duelists. You need Skirmisher Smite against him if you're gonna try to 1v1 him. Xin, same thing. Lee Sin, same thing. So your Smite is better here instead of Ignite. You get that? Now, for your top lane matchup here, you're going to be really prone to ganks early because of your Smite Telly, right? You're going to have no sort of escape. Like, you're easier only form of escape. So you don't want to really use that to harass them or something, and then find yourself like in the middle of the lane just like, dang, I can't get out of here. And Fizz is really a pretty good ganker because, like, he might not have CC, but he has like 2 forms of gap closure and a lot of damage. And the person you're facing, whether it be Lee or Xin, can easily stop you. You guys are mean. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's see. Let's see how he plays this. So, what I would say as Hecarim is you start that camp, right? You start the camp, go back, you TP back to lane. You'll have the level 2 advantage. Their side can start a camp too, but if you don't start the camp, it's so pointless to have Smite. You know, like, you gotta do it. Hecarim versus, I don't even know what the heck he's facing yet. That was just that. He could be facing either Lee or Xin here. So we're spectating best white guy NA. That's who we are spectating. And he has Arcade Hecarim, so you know. Okay, you are nice people, Sir Cool. You are a nice person. So are you, Padres. Good. Flask start. You will go back when you can afford your Skirmisher Smite and gonna rush Cinderhulk. That's gonna be your first item on Hecarim. Or Smite Telly Hecarim, I should say. Ignite is different. But Smite Telly Hecarim, your first item is Cinderhulk. Skirmisher Smite is what you're gonna need. You can start either Wolves, Wraiths, or Gromp, honestly. You gotta ask your jungler if it's okay to start Gromp, because they're more protective over that one than Wolves. But like the Gromp buff will help you a little more in lane, you know? Okay, so you're facing lead top, interesting. He has no... Biggest thing, you have TP, he doesn't. He has Ignite. If you die to him, like level 2, 3 or something, you're gonna have a really tough time in lane. You gotta play incredibly safe, passive, conservative, early. If you're low, you leave, you TP back. You do not stay, you do not even give him the chance to kill you with that Ignite. But if you push him out of lane, even once, that's it. Because like he can't TP back, he has to walk back, so like he's gonna waste so much time. So just keep that in mind. If you're facing a top lane who doesn't have Ignite, they're gonna try to kill you early. That means they're gonna be aggressive on you. You gotta be smart. You gotta play smart. And yes, that is a Sejuani support. I'm not even going to comment about that. It's not a real thing. You don't need to give him a leash. He should not be starting this side, first of all. That's his fault. You don't need to give him a leash. You need to be doing the first camp on like Wraiths or something. He needs to be starting bot side double golems, and your bot lane should give him the leash. You need that level 2. In this lane especially, because first of all, you're gonna be it helps you a lot because you're level 2 versus level 1. Second of all, you have Smite. Like, why wouldn't you start a camp? Like, it's so much easier for you to start a camp with Smite. You won't even like lose that much health, but you just go be in Telly anyway, so it doesn't matter. You have Flask. Like, come on. So like I said, this lane you play a little safer. Like don't hesitate to burn your flask. What do you call it? Stacks. The charges, I should say. Sorry. You start Q, max Q, and then E next. Biggest thing, you're facing Lee Sin top, right? You can't fight him like this, man. You already made your mistake. You can't fight him like this. Your you made two major mistakes. One, you fought him. Two, you're not standing behind minions. You're allowing him to hit his Q on you. It's like you can't let him hit that Q on you ever. Like you should always be behind minions. And another thing too, your smite is useless. So it's like you only have TP, and TP is not an offensive spell. He has flash and ignite. I don't know why you thought it was a good idea to even try to fight him, but it's not. Trust me. Like you don't not want to even try that. Oh, if you want me to comment as Sedge support, this is bronze. This is a troll. I don't know what the hell this is about. It's not gonna work. Never play it in solo queue. If you do, I won't coach you. Just kidding. But please don't play Sedge support. Like, play her in the jungle. She is like 8 times stronger, dude. Please. Okay, so he's level 3, you're level 2. Don't even bother fighting him anymore until you hit 6 and until you get that Cinder Hulk. For some reason you have Smite and you're not building Cinder Hulk. You're building Cloth. Note how awful that sounds. Like you invested so much into getting a summer spell, and now you're not even using it. If you're gonna be pushed out of lane like this or zoned out, go do jungle camps. Go get that Gromp buff. Go do your wolves. Do something. You have to use this smite well. You can't just have it sit there doing nothing for so long. Because if you're not gonna do this, you might as well get ignite. Like, you might as well have the offensive summoner spell, and if you want to fight him so badly, you could get ignite early. There's no point getting smite. Said support viable confirmed on stream. Oh my god, please stop. Oh. But back to him though. If you want to fight early, you take ignite. If you're gonna go Cinder Hulk, you gotta wait for that Cinder Hulk spike then, and you gotta start farming creeps too. And you can't just rush. I don't know what you're even building now because you have a cloth armor. Remember, I'm assuming this Lee. I wonder if this Lee's maxing E. No, he's maxing Q. Okay, it's interesting. Some Lee Sins max E because it does magic damage, and like if you build armor against it, you don't really do much because it's magic damage, Good. You made him not hit the Q on you. You can't let him hit the Q on you. It's just like facing an Italy top lane. Like, if she hits a spear on you, you're dead. If this guy hits the Q on you, he'll do a lot of damage to you. If you ever feel like you're being zoned out like this, push the wave. Like, okay, the wave's gonna get to your turn, right? Push the wave, go do Grom, man. Like, go do Scuttle, go do something. Be smart. Try to find any sources of income. Cause that's all this gold. This game is about like how much gold can you get on your team. Like objectives are just gold, like except dragon anymore. But like turrets are gold, kills are gold, assists are gold, CS is gold. Like everything revolves around like money. Okay, you're up on him on CS. This is good. Now, this is how you should have played at the beginning, Passive. Like, I'm not gonna die to him. I'm just gonna farm. Who cares? Like, I don't give a crap. Like, I'm just waiting for myself to get tankier, scale, because Hecarim scales a lot better than Lee Sin ever will. Lee Sin falls off so hard. Hecarim is a god late game or mid late game. You gotta know this, like, it's all about game knowledge, right? Like in these matchups and stuff, like you gotta see what your strengths and weaknesses are. Now you're 6, you're running you don't have any flask stuff left. I'm not saying it's like risky to stay here because you have like relatively full health, but you don't want to you definitely don't want to fight him here. How much gold do you have on you? Let's see. 1,100. 850 is the Cinder skirmishers, right? You want that, so you should just backed off. Like, you see that? If you get hit by a Q, you lose. Look at this. Your as heck now. You can't ulti. You have no mana for ulti. You have no charges. You got hit by a Q. You're not standing behind minions. He has ignite, which you should know. You die. You cannot stay in that lane. This guy isn't playing this lane well. You're just playing it badly, I'd say. He's bad. Remember, you're in bronze. He's bad. Trust me. You just have to wait for your power spikes. It just all comes down to game knowledge, guys. Like, if you want to rise in like solo queue, know the game. Know what the strengths and weaknesses are of every champion, or like at least the meta champions, you know. I'd count Lee Sin as still a meta champion because he's still popular in like some cases. You gotta know when he's strong, like what he's good at. You gotta know when your champion is good at stuff. Like whatever your role you're playing. Like, you know, last game I was saying, like, if Graves is playing, you gotta know when you're stronger than her. You know when your level 6 is stronger, obviously. With Hecarim as well, you're stronger once you get your Cinder Hulk. If you get your Cinder Hulk and you guys are 0-0-0, both level 6, you can fight him. Because you have Skirmisher's Smite, you'll burn him. He'll do less damage to you because he's a one-on-one. You have the advantage there. Note, if you never die to him, it'd be 3-4. Your team would probably have a higher morale right now. Like, it's only down by 1 kill, who cares, right? But now it's 3-6. It's looking bad. It's so imperative you stop getting hit by these Qs. Like, you cannot get hit by these Qs so much. If he misses his Q, he loses so much damage on you. You can fight him. No, you can't. Actually, okay. One second, I'm going to talk about it after this fight. I want to see what happens here. Okay. Let's watch it again. Okay, you guys are relatively even here, right? Like, health-wise? Now you're the same level. You have ulti. You basically, you have your smite up here. He kicks you. Everything has been done on you already, and you smited him. You know what I'm saying? Like, look what Skirmisher's Smite does. It does 20% less damage. It makes your opponent do 20% less damage to you, whoever you smited. So basically, if you smite him after he does his entire combo on you, what's the point? Right? If he walks behind you like that, it's so obvious he's going to try to kick you like back, like he wants to fight you. He's walking up to you, so obviously you smite him then and you fight him. You don't smite him after he's already done his entire combo. Like, you know what? If you had smite him first, you would have won that fight 1v1 without Yasuo's help. Like, easy. Okay. Remember, guys, if you have that Skirmisher Smite, you open with it. That's the first thing you use. Before any of your skills, any of their skills, if the fight is about to break out, don't hesitate, use that Skirmisher Smite. Get in there, make sure it's on them. This game is easily winnable still. You guys outskill them so hard. Xin does not scale well. Sedge support, I don't even know. That's not even a thing. Lee doesn't scale well. Kate is not a scaling ADC compared to Jinx. Hecarim is amazing. Olaf is actually pretty good when he gets tankier. You guys have to maybe worry about Fizz, but like, he's 0-2-0 right now. Like, the strongest person on your team is Lee Sin and Xin, and they both will fall off. Like this. You should smite him instantly. If he dashes in on you, after that dash, you smite. All his damage will get like less. You attack him back. If you have Skirmisher and they dive on you, you have to fight back. You cannot let him get 3 free autos and then knock up on you and just walk away. Like, that's the biggest problem I've seen in trading in low elo, is that people think that, oh crap, he jumped on me. My only option here is to run. No, your option here is to fight them back. You still haven't used your smite, by the way. Oh, you did. Fight him! Why are you so scared? You have the smite debuff on him. You smite him. You have to fight him then. Your autos still do damage. You have Cinder. Like, you will do damage. You're not as squishy as you think you are. Don't be so scared. He can't kill you. You already used his entire burst. Remember, this is what I came back to you about game knowledge. Xin is all burst. If he goes in, does E, alt, Q, Q, Q. Like, yay, that's it. That's all he does. If he doesn't kill you or get you low by then, like, whoop-de-doo. He can't do anything else. You fight him then. Hecarim has a lot of sustained damage. He can come back and he can fight still. And he can fight in extended fights really well. He's a good duelist. So was that lane swap? I don't know why you guys swapped there for a second, but that was weird. Same mistake again, dude. He hits his Q on you, you don't smite him. Like, you have to, if you play Hecarim again, you have to make sure that you're using this smite more liberally. And stop getting hit by Qs, please. Stand behind minions. You should not be getting hit by these Qs. If he W's in and then like starts a fight with you, you just smite and just straight up fight him. No worries, like no hesitations. Gotta be cold-blooded. And he's too fed already. This game was pretty easy for you to win. I'm not even joking. Like, you could have done a lot of things to like make this game like a joke. Like, you could have single carry. You could have been the one that's 5-1 right now, and he could have been 0-4. But honestly, this game isn't over yet. Remember, there are a lot of throws that can happen. Okay, what's your next ploy here? You scale, right? You tell your team, okay guys, look, it's a rough start, whatever. We'll outscale them, really hard. Let's play safe and let's farm. Like, we don't have to do anything right now. Let's stall this game out. Like, bronze games go wrong for so long sometimes. Like, they go on for so dang long that, like, late game team comps are awesome in these situations. Like, that's what you want to do. Their comp is early game. Really, really early game. That sucks that your team fought that. But, like, I mean, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. No pun intended. Because you're Hecarim, but no, that's not the point. But, like, you're a person's... This is how I rose in solo queue, right? I figured out that, oh, like, I like jungle, okay? I was like, I figured out that, damn, Xin Zhao, this was season 3, Xin Zhao is really good at certain things. He's good at early game pressure. He's good at dueling one... wow, insect, please. He's good at early game pressure. He's good at one-on-ones. He has a lot of burst, okay? How can I use this to my advantage? Now, let's... And then I realized, I was like, okay, like, I can beat a lot of people with this. I know my matchups now. It takes time, but once you realize what the matchups are and like how you fight these other champions, you'll rise really fast, like really quickly. I actually went from silver 1 to plat 3 in 2 days. For the first time. Like, I was silver 1 for the longest time. I hit plat 3 instantly. Let's say you stick to one champion, okay? Hecarim's hard because he might be permaban. Let's say you stick with Hecarim though, okay? For all the time. You need to realize what his strengths and weaknesses are. His weakness. You have Smite Telly or Night Telly. He's going to be weak early game. He's going to be prone to ganks. His strengths. He's an insane duelist. He can 1v1 you at level 6 once he gets like an item or whatever. You gotta know what the matchups are against him top lane. Like, how does he fare against the likes of like Gnar, Maokai, Aurelia, stuff like that. Like, go look up guides for that. Like, see how like some players like face these things. Like, watch that. Watch champion specific guides. And then once you realize, like, once you know everything about your champion, after you've like made him like an extension of yourself, is when you'll see improvement. You'll be like, oh, well, I mean, I've seen this matchup before. Like, I saw it in that one video. Like, basically what he did was this, this, and this. I'm gonna put that to work here. And then that's when, like, you'll see like, damn, like this game is so much easier than like what people say. Like I don't care if I'm crappy at mechanics. My heck mechanics could be first time Hecarim, but if I know how this matchup is supposed to be played, we'll win. So, this game is looking pretty bad, honestly. Like, I'm not sure what more you can do. In this case, but like, it's kind of dumb because like, you know, I said like late game champions are like great for bronze because the games last so long because no one actually goes for objectives. The same also holds for like how important early game is. You've seen how tilty people get, right? Like, oh my god, first blood, GG, or like, holy crap, like, we're down by like 5 kills, we can't possibly come back from this, like stuff like that. Like, you've seen how people have actually like said this in your games, and that's when it becomes really, really like mandatory, I guess, in a way, like imperative, that like you're not the one feeding. You know what I mean? Like, if you cut your 5 deaths here and you're 0-3, let's say in this case, it's 13 to 15 right now, 13 to 16. That sounds a lot better than 13 to 21. You cut your own mistakes, the team looks a lot better. It doesn't even matter how the rest of your mid laner can still be 2-6, but if you haven't died yet, or if you only died once, this game is a lot closer, man. First of all, their top laner wouldn't be fed, you'd be even here, you can join your team fights. Another thing about Telly and like home guard and stuff, after like the 7-minute mark, I'd say, don't use your Telly to come back to lane. Hold it on for like objective fights. You gotta home guard Telly, or you gotta Telly in for like bot lane fights and stuff like that. You can't afford to just keep it, like, you can't afford to use it for just like getting back to lane. Especially when your opponent doesn't have teleport, you have such a big advantage. The overcommitting is real. So, I think anyone who's in bronze can rise. Anyone. There are no lost causes, okay? There's no one that like, oh my god, I'm stuck in here forever. Like, there's nothing I can do to rise. Like, it's always my team. Like, that's all bullcrap. Like, you can always learn more. Trust me. Like, I can learn more. I need to learn more. If I want to hit like Master Challenge or whatever, I need to learn more. Like, I know a lot, but not enough. And that's your mentality. What your mentality should be when you're in bronze. You gotta learn more. That's why it's always recommended that you stick to like 2 or 3 champions, you know? Something you can focus on. Because if you're a Phil main in bronze and you're trying to like learn everyone, like there are 100 whatever champions, right? Like you can't be really good at all of them. Like it's gonna be so hard to do that. You need like years. But instead, if you stick to 2 or 3 champions that you really enjoy, like someone you don't get tired with, and you focus on every matchup for those 2 or 3 champions, you'll be awesome. Like I'm telling you, like I guarantee that you will be really good if you focus on 2 or 3 champions and you learn everything about them, how their skills work, what kind of combos do they have, what's the best way to trade with them, what's their worst lanes, what are their best lanes, how do you play with them in the early game, mid game, late game. Like trust me, there are thousands of guys in like any champion you want. Like I don't care who you're playing, you can rise. Like I'm trying my best here to like explain a lot like in this game, but like I can't explain every single heck matchup in this game. I can only explain to you like Lee Sin in this case because that's what you're facing. And he's an early game, and he has Ignite. So like I said, you gotta play safe early. You gotta not die to him, and then once you get your Cinder Hulk, you fight him all the time. You keep on killing him over and over again. He's a snowbally champion. If he fails early, he's useless. Here, you're doing Dragon. Your team is fighting Xin. There's a high chance your team can be collapsed on. I mean, yeah, their bot lane's dead, but like, what if like Lee Sin was here? Lee Sin's top, whatever. My point is, you gotta. I say in bronze, it's better off that you stay with your team than trying to stray alone. You know, especially when you're behind. Like you can stay with your team, especially as someone like Hecarim, like someone who's such an awesome team fighter. Like he's so good at it. Like there's no reason for you not to like team fight. Like your strength. Look at this. Look at your team comp. Olaf, Hecarim, Morg, Yasuo, Jinx. You guys are awesome at team fighting. Like you can Morg bind into you going in, you can AoE the hell out of their backline, Jinx can like stay at a distance, Olaf can get into their backline so easily, stuff like that. You have initiation with you. In like, get him. I think ulti was overkill, but at least you got him. This game is not over, is it? I believe. Also, be very good at, the better you are at this, is the better you are at picking the right fights, the higher you'll rank. Like, I've realized that like, if you're, whoever you are, right? If you know exactly what fight benefits you, and you take it, you'll be great, because you'll probably win that fight. You have a higher chance of winning that fight as opposed to a fight where like you have a 30% chance of winning, and the only way you're gonna win this if you pull this awesome Faker Yasuo play where like you dash to minions through rates. Like, why would you want to pick that fight? Like, yeah, it looks flashy. Maybe you'll like be able to do it like 3 out of 10 times, but like, like is that really worth it? Or would you rather take the 90% chance fight against the weak AD carry that like you can just get fed off of? Alrighty. They haven't broken into your gates, like they haven't gotten your inhibitor turrets or anything yet. So like, the hope has not all hope hasn't been lost. You know, their team comp sucks at Siege. Holy crap! Like they have one range champion, one, and that's Caitlyn. Yar. Nice Sue. But your build is fine. That's nothing wrong with that. You're actually building correctly. I would have not recommended that. Like your build is totally fine. Like nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that early game if you got into level 2, you know, instead of like trying to leash for Olaf, like I don't know what that was about. But so this is what you guys can still win this. Like it's not over. Like another big thing that you gotta think about is your mentality. Like, you know, like if you could give up this game and no one would probably blame you, but why? This game is so easily winnable. Like people who give up so early are like those who QQ about Elo Hell and those who QQ about like, oh my god, I can't get out of bronze. Like you can't give up. Even if you do end up losing this game, you're practicing your champ first of all. You'll know the matchups, you'll know how to team fight with him. Like that's what matters more than your win-loss record. Like it's about how much are you improving every game. Sometimes you might feel like, damn, like I'm not improving at all. Like I'm losing these games. Like why am I 2-7 with Hecarim in 9 games? Like who cares? But every game that you play, you will get better. If you actually like apply yourself to getting better and not just like thinking about how bad your team is. Alright, what's next? Baron control. Looks like you need to buy a couple of warriors on you. You gotta be upgrading your trinket. You're already level 13. No one, oh my god, this is the epitome of bronze. No one has upgraded your trinket on your side. There's 4 warding totems here. Your support doesn't have a sweeper. Wow. She has a ruby Scythe but no sweeper. Like, tell her to buy a sweeper. watch, like tell her that, like ask like, hey, Mora, could you please like get a sweeper for us? And then you need to upgrade your trinket to the one that gives you 2 charges, the mini sightstone one. You get a couple wards out. Like there's so many things that you could be doing, right? And then it blows past you because I mean, you're just not used to doing these things. But like, if you do start doing these slowly and steadily, like start buying more wards, knowing your matchups, playing correctly, playing safer, making less mistakes, going B when you have to instead of like overstaying, they all add up. All of them add up. I'm not even kidding you. They just add up to like a win or loss. This should be a fight right here. This is still a good fight. Don't be scared. Okay, it was a good fight until that happened. They're too fed. They're too fed, man. Lame. It sucks. So they got your inhibitor. Game's still not over, in my opinion. Like, you guys can still win this game. Like, people have thrown so many games. I've lost games when I was up like 17-4 in plat elo. Like, if it happens there, it'll happen anywhere. Or like in diamond elo too. Like, it's solo queue. You have 5 people who don't know each other versus other 5 people who don't know each other. Like, there's bound to be miscommunication. There's bound to be like people getting caught out, stupid stuff like that. It's bound to be this random fizz here who's waiting to catch someone. What the hell? Look at, like, what is the logic behind whatever the heck that was? Like, holy crap. You guys have a possibility for a fight now. Now, I don't know who you're smiting in these fights, but you should be smiting the person you're going for. Or like the person who you feel like is the biggest threat against you, you know? Like in this case, Xin is the one you should be smiting. Like someone who will do the most damage to you, you want to kill 20% off of that. You want to get less. Like smite him, smite him, smite him, smite him. Smite him, smite him. Then you smite him so late, man. Fighting him early makes a whole buttload of difference. First, it's like DFG. Like you smite him first, and then you fight him. Like, what's the point of going like your whole combo and then DFGing someone? Rip in pieces, DFG. But still, like, what's the point of using DFG last if like it amplifies everything you do after, right? These are throws. Look at this. This is so sad. Like, you guys can win this easy. You're scaling up so hard right now. Like, you're gonna get this Randuin's next. You're gonna be able to face tank their all AD team. All AD team. That Fizz doesn't even count as AP. Like, I don't know what the heck he does with his life, but I don't know what this is. This is dumb. He has a Frozen Heart, then he has 2 AP items, and he's whatever. Ignore that Fizz. Like, as long as you take the ult from Fizz, like your Olaf, get the ult on him, like get hit by the ult, it is like you're good to go. You look like you're building a Frozen Heart next. That is fine. Frozen Heart or Randuin's, doesn't really matter which one. Actually in this case Frozen Heart would be better since they have 3 auto attackers. So the attack speed decrease. You're alone, by the way. You didn't smite anyone. You basically baited your team into fighting a fight, then you ran away. You had no ulti up, you ran into them, you didn't do anything, and then Olaf burned ulti to like, because he thought you were gonna like commit or something. So don't do that if, cause it's really easy to like trick your team, you know, in a way. Make sure like if you're gonna do something like that, like you have everything up and you're ready to commit. You don't really harass with Hecarim with your E. You know, I mean, that's not really how the E works. Like, you use it to catch up to someone or to like destroy someone straight up. Anikam, thank you so much for following, man. Really appreciate it. Welcome to my league school. And no, you don't do this. You can do the swag DFG kill, but you can't do the swag skirmisher kill. It doesn't do any damage unless you auto them. Honestly, Thormail would be really good for you right now. This is a perfectly fine fight. It's a 4v5. You guys have to fight this. Come on. And then Fizz is destroying your base. Stop chasing bot lane. Stop. Okay. You guys will lose one Nexus chair for this. Not two, though, because your inhib's coming up soon. But that's totally fine, honestly. You got a lot of gold from that 3 for 2. Like, you needed this team fight. You really needed this. You needed some sort of, like, catch-up way. Like, way to catch up. And that's what you got. Sweet. Hi Swizzy, thank you so much for following, dude. Welcome to my classroom, and welcome to the family. I like how Poe just said that. Welcome to the family. Okay, 7, 8, 9. You're going for either Randuids or Thormail would actually be really good. They're all AD basically, and they have 3 auto attackers. Your ult is up, man. Hold on to it. Okay. You're chasing too hard here. You're chasing way too hard. You isolate yourself from the team. I don't think chasing was smart. I think you should have kept back and helped your team here. You are your team's like tank after Olaf dies, right? So here, watch this. Okay. There's a fighting here. This is all good in the end. Yasuo's not here yet. You're getting damage on you already pushed her out of the fight. Kaelin's out. He's gone. No reason for you to keep on chasing Kaelin here. You turn on Lee Sin, you help them burst Lee down. And then you peel for your Kaelin, or yeah, your Kaelin, wherever the hell your Jinx is. Okay, she went back. You help peel for your Yasuo in this case then. Instead of you chasing Kaelin, who was already out of the fight since she was low, if you stayed back, you would have won this game. You would have won that fight. And now you walked back in trying to 1v2 instead of just like running and going B. You know, these just little mistakes that are like team fighting errors that you should fix. Sometimes it's just as good to push a carry out of the fight as it is to kill them. You don't have to kill them all the time. Getting them out of the fight is more than enough. Wow, they got double Nexus cherries. Now at this point, like, the game is almost over, unfortunately. Oh my god, this Baron call is so desperate. You have an open Nexus, they're just gonna end the game. The game is done. Or is it? Wow, they didn't end the game when 4 of you guys were at Baron. Holy crap. Home guard horsey. Yeah, overkill. You need your ult for team fights. You don't need the ult her right there. Even if she runs, you let her run. Your most important priority here is to keep that ult for the team fight when they push in for your Nexus. Your cooldown is worth so much more than just killing Caitlyn right there. You would have killed that thing without using your ulti. Soldier Siren 129, thank you so much, man, for following the stream, and welcome to the family and the school, the classroom, I guess. I need to still find a catchy thing for this. Pandora, because classroom is not really catchy. Pandora's box. Yeah, we'll see. So back to the game. Your team can't leave your base. Like, you have to sit in there and wait for them to come to you basically right now with your Baron buff. It's like the best time you can ever fight. Like, this is it. Like, you either win this next fight or you lose. Like, it's your last stand. And it's really interesting because you guys can still win. I've won from this. I won from like where my Nexus has been like one hit away, and comebacks are great. Caitlyn is bot. You should be seeing Caitlyn bot now. You want to initiate a fight right here. You want to find someone. You want to find Fizz to pick off. You want to get something here. Caitlyn is still bot. You don't want. The last thing you want to do is push out of your base, though. This is perfect. Go. He's out. Holy crap. Okay, that's what you're doing. Your team's fighting him off. Fending. Where are you, man? Okay, you see what you're doing here? You're like in the middle of like your team's fighting on two fronts, so you're not really doing anything of use here. I'm hoping you guys killed two of them? Holy crap. Comebacks, please. You still have ulti. Your team can defend the base. Your targeting there was kind of bad. Your targeting should have been on Zin, not the support Sejuani. Remember, she's a support. Okay, whatever. Stop staging. Go back to your team. Your base, your base, your base. Oh no, GG. Oh no, please. Is it over? No, it's not. Here's this will defend. Unless Lee Sin's gonna expect this. But like, if you hadn't wasted your ulti on Zed, you could have probably killed Zin instantly, kept your Olaf alive, or whoever, someone was there next to you, kept them alive, and then you could have just gone back to your base and like held this off. So, like, remember, don't give up. Like, always play like the right way until the end. So that's it. That's all that matters to me. Is like you play the right way until the end, and then the results will come. Pandora's Classroom. Okay, let's do that then. Okay, so game's still not over. Holy crap! Told you, dude. Bronze games last so long. Like, your scaling is awesome. I think there's like one last fight. Okay. Now you're all just standing around Lee Sin's dead body while and then you lost mid in him for that. Like, you guys have to fight this. You can't just keep on letting him have inhibs. Game's over, unfortunately. You tried, man. But like, this game would have been easily your win. Not even joking. Like, easy win for you guys. If you had just like did laning phase a bit better and like they weren't able to snowball, you know. You could have ended this game in 30 minutes. Like, your team would have won. But yeah, so that's what I have for you, man. I'll upload this to YouTube, and if you have any questions, just like feel free to ask. Okay. And viewers, if you have any questions about the last game or anything in general, please don't hesitate to ask in the channel.